Huberman. Okay, let's talk about heat. More specifically, let's talk about the biology of heat and heating and the health benefits and tools related to heating. First question that we have to answer is, how do we heat up? And the answer to that question is we heat up two ways. We heat up from the outside, meaning the things that we come into contact with, clothing that we put on our body, whether or not there's heat in the room or whether it's cold outside or cold in the room, and we heat up from the inside. The body has the capacity to generate heat or to cool down, meaning to turn off the heating process, and it can do that in ways that match the external environment. The simplest way to think about this is that we actually have two body temperatures. And people will say, oh, what's body temperature? 98.6. That's actually not true. Body temperature varies between individuals, varies within individuals, and at every point across your entire lifespan, you have two distinct temperatures. One is the temperature on your skin, what scientists call your shell, and the temperature of your core, your viscera, meaning your organs, your nervous system, spinal cord. And as you can imagine, the temperature of your core is always higher than the temperature of your surface. So the important thing to know is that you have a temperature at your shell and a temperature of your core. And you don't need to know exactly what those temperatures are, but it is vitally important to understand that you have those two temperatures and that your brain is constantly sending out signals to your body as to whether or not it should heat up or cool down depending on the temperature of the shell. Makes total sense. This is a lot like thermostat in the room, which is essentially paying attention to how cold or hot it is, and then sending signals to the heating and cooling system to heat up the environment, cool down the environment, depending on the environment. Your brain has neurons that send signals to other cells in your body and deploy the release of chemicals in your brain and body to heat you up when you are too cold and to cool you down when you are too hot. So if you can understand that you have two bodies, one at your shell, the surface, and one at your core, inside, and that your body and brain are always trying to balance those two temperatures in the appropriate way, and then you're halfway there to understanding the biology of thermal regulation and heating. And you're a lot further along in understanding how specific tools can be used to improve metabolism, improve cognition. In fact, later you will learn that one way that you can heat up is by cooling down the surface of your body. That's right. If I were to throw a cold towel, ice cold towel, onto your torso right now and ask you, well, how do you feel? You'd say, oh, that's cold, that's chilly. However, because your brain is acting like a thermostat, as the surface, the shell of your body felt cool, it would make sense that that thermostat would activate biological mechanisms. Similarly, if I were to put you into a very hot environment, say, oh wow, it's really warm in here, your brain and your body would go through a lot of effort to activate mechanisms to cool you down. So anytime we're talking about heat and deliberate heat exposure, things like sauna, it's very important to understand not just the stimulus, how hot something is, how long you're in a sauna, etc., but the effect that has on your shell and on your core. If you can understand that, you can design protocols that are literally perfect for your goals. And as a final point about this, if you want to develop the best tools leveraging heat for your biology and health performance, you want to understand heat as a process, as a verb, as heating, not just heat. Because there's the temperature that you are at before you encounter the heat stimulus, or you get in the sauna, for instance, during the heat stimulus, or while you're in the sauna, and then afterward. Everything in biology is a process. Because you'll soon learn that there is a specific sauna protocol that can allow anybody, in fact, to increase the amount of growth hormone released into their brain and body 16-fold. That's right, 16-fold. However, it involves shifting from hot environment, cool environment, hot environment to cool environment over and over and over again over a very short period of time, because it engages a switch, a process that compounds, builds on itself, increases growth further and further. In fact, if you were to just get into a sauna for a very long period of time and crank up the temperature to match the exact temperature that was used in that study, you would not experience those increases in growth hormone. It really is the transition between hot and cool temperatures engage the process of heating and reheating over and over again. So today you're going to learn about the use of sauna. You're going to learn about the use of other heat-related tools for health and optimization, not just for growth hormone, but also metabolic health, cortisol, even to impact mental health in positive ways. And in order to do that, you need to understand a little bit about the mechanisms of how you heat up and how you cool down, where the cells and circuits are in the brain and body, how those cells and circuits work. To make the description of that, which follows, very clear, even if you don't have a background in biology. And once you have that in hand, along with the understanding you now have about the shell and core, and you need to think about both the shell and the core, then you will be in the best possible position to use sauna, or hot tub, or other tools, even just a hot shower, as a powerful stimulus to optimize your body. Now, the science of heat and heating, cold and cooling for that matter, goes back well over 100 years. In fact, it's kind of amusing to me that nowadays there's a renewed interest in the use of heat and cold and the science of heat and cold, because this was the first topic that I studied as an undergraduate, and in fact, I did my graduate thesis on thermal regulation. And at the time, thermal regulation wasn't really considered one of the hot topics in neuroscience. People were more focused on things like memory and consciousness, and of course, those topics are still of vital interest to many people in many laboratories. But thermal regulation is considered more, a thing for the physiologist. Nowadays, not just on social media, not just in the landscape of biohacking, but in the landscape of mental health, and frankly, in the general ethos around health optimization, people are really interested in heat and cold. And the reason they're so interested in heat and cold is that a lot of the science has been done by animal models, mice, and in humans, and translates immediately to protocols that anyone can use. Brief warning now, and another brief warning later. Anytime you're talking about heating up your body, you need to be very cautious, because unlike cooling down, where you have a fairly broad range of cold temperatures that you can go into before it's damaging tissue, well, you don't get to heat up the brain and body very much before you start getting into the realm of neuron damage. Neurons in the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord, once they're damaged, they don't come back. So hyperthermia is a serious thing to avoid. Later, I'll talk about ways to rapidly protect against hyperthermia. But I do want to give everybody a cautionary note up front. Obviously, if you're pregnant, nursing, if you're very sensitive to hot environments, you want to stay out of saunas and things of that sort. I'm sure there are exceptions to that. You definitely have to talk to your doctor if you're going to violate that rule. And for everybody, you want to approach any kind of tool related to heating very cautiously. You always have the opportunity to increase the temperature later, so proceed with caution. Be smart about it. Don't just say that. So now let's talk about what are the circuits for heating up. How does that happen? How does that? What happens when you go into a cold environment and you're shivering, but you put on a coat and you feel warm? What's really going on? Well, there's a very basic circuit in neurons that exist in the skin, brain, and in the body that communicate with one another that allow you to heat up if you need to and cool down. I'm going to throw a little bit of nomenclature, a few new words at you. You don't need to memorize words, except for one. You need to memorize one acronym that's very easy, called the POA. If you remember POA, you'll be home free for the rest of the episode. And I know that there are some aficionados out there in getting a little bit deeper mechanism. And I do think it's important to understand the circuit. Once you understand the circuit and the way it's structured, then you are going to be in a great position to use it. So here's how this circuit is structured. You have this shell, which is basically skin, and within the skin you have neurons, nerve cells. Those nerve cells have channels or receptors on them, called trip channels. There's some other ones as well, which basically sense changes in heat. So if I were to put a hot object on your arm, or for instance, if I were to put a hot object on your hand or arm and then remove that hot object, those neurons would respond to that. They would send electricity to your spinal cord. That's where the next station of the circuit resides. In your spinal cord, you've got a cluster of neurons that exists at the top part of your spinal cord called the dorsal horn. Name again doesn't matter. And those neurons specifically relay heat information up to another area of your brain. Now here's where we get into some fancy names. The lateral parabrachial area. You don't need to know the lateral parabrachial area, but it's a relay station. The lateral parabrachial area sends electrical signals to the POA. I would like you to know POA. POA stands for preoptic area. Neurons in the preoptic area basically reside over the roof of your mouth. These are neurons within the hypothalamus. And neurons in the preoptic area have the ability to send signals out to the rest of your brain and body to get you to heat up and actually to change your behavior so that that's right. If neurons in the preoptic area receive an electrical signal through the circuit I just described, skin, dorsal horn of the spinal cord, lateral parabrachial, they will start sending signals out to the organs of your body and the tissues of your body to get those organs and tissues to do things. Believe it or not, your POA, your preoptic area, will actually change the way that you think and feel immediately. For instance, if something warm contacts your skin or something very hot contacts your skin, the preoptic area will send signals out to the endothelial cells, the blood vessels of the brain and body, that get them to dilate, to essentially increase their volume, surface area, in order to pass off heat. You will also start sweating. That sweating response is initiated not by a hot day or the hot sun, by the preoptic area neurons that send signals out to what's called the periphery of your body, and other chemicals are released that get you to sweat. And if you happen to be shivering, neurons in the preoptic area will make sure that you stop shivering. You're probably familiar with the feeling of somewhat lethargic, spreading out your limbs on a hot day. Well, that is the result of neurons in your preoptic area impacting your musculature to get you to increase your surface area so you can sweat off or release more heat. So all these different mechanisms by which we dump heat. Some of those are purely physiological, below our conscious control, like sweating. 10 seconds. You can't just make yourself sweat on demand. You can do a set of stressful thoughts, but you can't just make yourself sweat. But that is autonomic. It's below your conscious control. Things like vasodilation, the dilation of your veins in particular and capillaries. And of course, there are these behavioral, somewhat voluntary aspects. And the lethargy, the tiredness that we feel on a really hot day, that's also controlled by the surface. In fact, I just got back from a visit to a very warm place, and it was remarkable to me how lethargic I felt in the afternoon. I felt like a total slug. I just could not move or rally to do anything, except if I waited until the evening, even though it was later in the day, I hadn't napped. As the temperature in my environment cooled off, as my body temperature cooled off, I felt like I had more energy. I was actually waking up. I know I've been working around. The relationship between temperature and lethargy is a very intimate factor. If we're warm enough, we feel active and want to move around. If we're too warm, we feel like we need to stay put and spread out our limbs. That brings me to a quick and kind of fun point about how we dump heat versus how other animals dump heat. Many of you know, of course, that we dump heat by sweating. Other mechanisms as well, some of which I described, but that's our main way of dumping heat. Other animals like dogs don't have the capacity to sweat, at least not very much, so they pant, right, in order to dump heat. And still other animals like rodents, when they get too hot, they spit on their paws and they rub that spit on the surface of their body. Gross and probably will get you. Now, one other key thing to understand about the circuit related to heat is that the preoptic area also can send electrical signals to the amygdala, the brain area that is often talked about here. It is really just a brain area that can activate the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is part of your autonomic nervous system. It is the one associated with fight or flight or with stress, or even just excited, right? The sympathetic nervous system is also really excited. The preoptic area has the opportunity to trigger the activation. Now, it doesn't do it every time, but it tends to do that when you are suddenly in an environment that feels too hot, that you feel is risky levels. Have you ever gotten into a sauna? It's very, very hot, maybe 210 degrees Fahrenheit. You sit there for a minute. You'll notice that your heart rate increases. There are reasons for that. I'll talk about some of the health, but it's pretty uncomfortable. You may not feel like your skin is coming out. You often will feel the impulse to get out, especially if you stay in. That impulse is the consequence of this preoptic area communicating with your amygdala. This environment is really hot. I'm trying to cool down. It's not really working. Dumping heat, but not able to adjust.
Ran out of gas.